रामानुजदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकं लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुग्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। माता पिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्धना। भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वयभट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसार कुलशेखर योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणु परकाल यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्। निगमकल्पतरोः गलितं फलं शुकमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवत रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। वन्दे वृन्दावनचरं वल्लवी जनवल्लभं जयन्ती सम्भवं धाम वैजयन्ती विभूषणम्। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रम् अकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिम्। नमस्सदसे नमस्सभायै। With the abundant blessings of Paramatma Shriyapati, it is indeed a momentous occasion for me, a primitive mortal such as me, to be chosen to speak to such an august Astika gathering of Sanatana Dharma. That too to commemorate one of the stalwarts who expounded the quintessence of Sanatana Dharma, and through her eloquence and vocabulary and bhakti was able to take Krishna bhakti far and wide. To that great Mahatma, Prema Pandurangji, my obeisances. I first heard her while I was 8 years of age. And the school where I studied is just a stone's throw away, the Oxford Senior Secondary School. What brought me here was, in the Sampradaya, we begin any auspicious occasion with the recitation of a beautiful Tamil compendium called Tirupallandu. Once when a Sri Vaishnava went in the presence of the great Paramacharya of Kanchi, he asked, "Are you done with your Dantavarsham?" So the student was left wondering as to what is Dantavarsham. Danta is Pal, Varsham is Andu. So Pallandu is Dantavarsham. So Paramacharya reminded him of the auspiciousness that is attached to Pallandu. And what can be more auspicious when I'm speaking in the dental college? So, just some excerpts, snippets of Prema Pandurangji's lecture left a large section of us enthralled. Such was her eloquence. I'm extremely indebted to the trustees for choosing me to deliver a lecture. The topic chosen for the day is KRISHNAM VANDE JAGADGURUM. This is a part of the famed Krishnashtakam. Vasudeva sutam devam kamsachanuramaddanam devaki paramanandam Krishnam vande jagadgurum. Let us first understand what does Krishnam Vande Jagadguru mean. It simply means I propitiate, I offer my obeisances to that Krishna who is the Jagadguru. This Jagadguru word has a problem. Let us begin that way. Where does the problem stem from? I have to narrate it's a famed anecdote from the Paramacharya of Kanchi. It is a norm in most of the sampradayas to add the word Jagadguru or Jagadacharya to the Acharya's name. in Advaita Siddhantam, Acharyas have this prefix as Jagat Guru. In Vishishtadvaita Siddhantam, Jagadacharya will feature. Jagat Acharya, Jagat Guru. One of the two will come. And the great sage of Kanchi, Paramacharya, lived for close to 100 years, walked Bharata Desham, Asetu Himachalam thrice. An Acharya of a very high caliber, of great tapasya. When he first undertook his yatra to Kashi, Kashi is a beautiful town by the banks of river Ganga, a very powerful constituency now. So Kashi is famous just not because Ganga flows by it. That way Haridwar, Rishikesh also have the pleasure of having Ganga. Gange mam pahi girish shirasthite gambhira gaye sangeeta vadya priye, says the Vagekara Muthuswami Dikshita. So Ganga flows by every town. What makes Kashi so special? It is in Kashi where the river that flows north to south generally meanders and flows south to north in Kashi alone. So Kashi is a place where Ganga shows the significance by flowing in the opposite, south to north direction. Same is the case with Kaveri. In Tamil Nadu, there is a place called Mohanur. Kaveri flows from south to north, so it is called Dakshina Kashi. So Kashi becomes very important. So Paramacharya was on a sojourn to Kashi, and before reaching a place, the officials of the Mutt would reach out to the local Vidwans there, stating that the Acharya is coming, which is true even today. And they said you have to put a banner stating Jagat Guru, Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham, Peethadishwara, Chandrasekharendra Saraswati is coming. They refused to print those words. Immediately the Mutt officials asked, why don't you put the word Jagat Guru? They said, sir, we have a problem with the word Jagat Guru because Jagat comprises of Chetana and Achetana, both Jivatma and the Achetana Vastu, and we are a part of the Chetanas. Only if we too agree that he is the Guru, you can put the word Jagat Guru. We are a part of the Jagat. So Jagat's Guru is Jagat Guru. If a part of the Jagat who is we do not agree that he is the Guru, then how do you put the word Jagat Guru? The Mutt officials had a problem. They went and told Paramacharya, sir, they are not agreeing to put the word Jagat Guru. Immediately Paramacharya asked, using which samasam have they come to this conclusion? See, in Sanskritam, basic grammar, you have Tatpurusha Samasam and Bahuvrihi Samasam. So the one who is the Guru to the Jagat is called Jagat Guru. Jagat's Guru is Jagat Guru. So these officials said, we are a part of the Jagat. Only if we who are a part of the Jagat agree that he is the Guru, Jagat Guru word can be put. Paramacharya said, see, you derive it the other way. The one to whom the entire Jagat is the Guru is also called Jagat Guru. So if they are a part of the Jagat, they are a Guru to me. So are they okay with this definition? They said we are okay. So then publish it. So it is a very prudent and an intelligent way with which Paramacharya handled the issue. But Jagat Guru means Jagat's Guru. Now who is the Guru? We have a simple definition. Gu swa andhakaraha rutan nirodhakaha. The inner darkness is Gu, indicated by the letter Gu. Rutan nirodhakaha. The one that annihilates the inner darkness, internal darkness, is called Guru. Guru also means huge. That is why Jupiter is called Guru. It is the largest planet, Guru. So you can always say, my Guru is Guru. Many of them will be blessed that way. Now, so Guru has, I wouldn't say synonymous words. There are other beautiful words to indicate an Acharya, a preceptor. One is Acharya. There is a definition. Achinoti yah shastrartham acharye sthapayatyapi swayam acharate yasmat acharyas tena kirtitaha. It's prachina shloka. Three things that a person who calls himself as an Acharya should do. Achinoti yah shastrartham. That person should have knowledge gathered from the scriptures without any ambiguity. If somebody comes and asks a doubt, sir, I do have the same doubt in Julita. Yes, sir. Very good, sir. You have, even I have had the same question. Why will he come and ask me again? So, Shastrartham, you should have a good foundation of the Shastras. Achare sthapayatyapi. You should also have the ability to instill and inculcate the quintessence of the Shastras that you have bequeathed through your learning into your students. You should be able to influence. Third, Swayamacharate Yasma. This is the third most toughest one. Swayamacharate Yasma. That person should be able to practice what he preaches. Then he can be called an Acharya. He has to do. First, he has to master. He has to inculcate in his students what he has mastered. Third, he has to end up practicing what he preaches. Then he is called an Acharya. So a guru is the one who annihilates darkness. Acharya has these threefold functions. In whichever way, Krishna is called Jagat Guru. When did he become a guru? Simple, I'll tell you the premise. In the Kurukshetra Bhumi, Arjuna had simple questions. Should I fight or not? People who are standing in front of me are related to me. Last time we did our blood test, same blood. So they are all related to me. Should I fight them? Isn't it an apacharam to kill your own kith and kin and all this? Krishna said, see, they were related to you all these years. That time you gave Veera Vachanam that you will fight them. Suddenly on the Yuddha Bhumi you have got enlightenment that I will not fight them. This is not right. You have to fight them. That is when Krishna ended up preaching the quintessence of the Upanishads called Bhagavad Gita. Sarvo Upanishado Gavaha Dugdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. This is a very prasiddha shlokam. This is a dhyana shlokam to Bhagavad Gita. He preached. Now, when did he become an Acharya? Some people say, calculating his age, at the age of 89. Some people say 62. So, whichever case, he will get 40% concession in IRCTC. That time he gave this Upadesham of Bhagavad Gita. 62 or 89, we don't know. Is that the position? Is that the time that he became the Jagat Guru? No. We have a saying in English, practice what you preach. So you're asking all jujubi questions to us. We are Prema Pandurangji's lectures we have listened. We are all at the doctorate level. Practice what you preach. Second standard moral science lesson. Okay, in practice what you preach, what comes first, practice or preach? Stand up on the bench. Practice what you preach. In the order of precedence, which function comes first? Eat what you cook. What comes first? Cook. Then only comes eat. You should not go by the sentence, eat what you eat. Eat what you cook. First you have to cook and then only eat. So in this order, cooking comes first, followed by eating. So cook what you eat. Practice what you preach. What comes first? Preach. Next comes practice. This is absolutely against our Bharatiya ethos. Our Acharyas never preached first and practiced later. They practiced first, preached later. So they always ended up preaching what they practiced. It should be the reverse. Preach what you practice. First you practice, then you preach. That is why the shlokam says, Swayam acharate yasmad. You should end up following what you have been preaching, and then you have the ability to tell others, do this, do that. So an Acharya should practice first. When did Krishna become an Acharya, Gita Acharya? He became at the age of 62 or 89. So he preached while he was 62 or 89. But he should have practiced that first. To become a Jagat Guru or Jagadacharya, the one who delivered the essence of Upanishads called Gita, he should have practiced first. Where did he practice? This is our topic today. Did he practice or not? So let us go a few incidents. Some of it will be philosophical. I will try making it as engaging, not to the level of Premaji. She had the ability to make very complex things simple. I too have been doing that. If I make everything simple, then they will not call me a Vidwan. கொஞ்சம் குழப்பமா சொல்லி முடிச்சாதான் ஓஹோ இவருக்கு ஏதோ தெரிஞ்சிருக்கு போல இருக்கு. Certain things should be overhead transmission, OHT. Then only, oh, he's a Vidwan. See, some things we didn't understand, that means he's a Vidwan. Ellam puriramani julita ashadumba. Anale madhya madhyadalli kannadallu ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Don't worry. ಏನ್ ಸರ್ ಇವ್ರು ತಮಿಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾವೇರಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರ? ಭೀಷ್ಮ ದ್ರೋಣ ತಟ ಜಯದ್ರಥ ಜಲ ಗಾಂಧಾರ ನೀಲೋತ್ಪಲ ಶಲ್ಯಗ್ರಾಹವತಿ ಕೃಪೇಣ ವಹನಿ ಕರ್ಣೇನ ವೇಲಾಕುಲ ಅಶ್ವತ್ಥಾಮ ವಿಕರ್ಣ ಘೋರ ಮಕರ ದುರ್ಯೋಧನಾವರ್ತಿನಿ ಸೋತ್ತೀರ್ಣ ಖಲು ಪಾಂಡವೈ ರಣನದಿ ಕೈವರ್ತಕ ಕೇಶವ. If you end up listening to a traditional rendering of the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, this is a dhyana shlokam. So what does this dhyana shlokam say? It gives a beautiful imagery of Mahabharata Yuddham. Bhishma Drona Tata. The banks of a certain river, one was Bhishma, the other one was Drona. Bhishma Drona Tata. Jayadratha Jala, in the river that was blood hued, red hued as the blood, was of Jayadratha. Jayadratha Jala. Imagine the banks to be Bhishma and Drona. The water that meanders is not simple waters, it is the blood that oozes from the body of a person called Jayadratha. Gandhara Nilotpala, in that red color meandering river, is a beautiful blue lotus that is attractive to the eyes. Appearances are always deceptive. Gandhara Nilotpala, Shakuni is that flower. Shalya Grahavati, there is a crocodile called Shalya. Kripena Vahani, that pushes it forward is Kripa. Karnena Velakula, Karna stands as boulders here and there. Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara, there are other alligators like Ashwathama, Vikarna. Duryodhanavartini, that which pushes through the current forward is Duryodhana. Look at that Mahabharata imagery. But there was a boat that helped the Pandavas cross from one bank to the other. Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi. This Rananadi, this river of bloodshed, Pandavas were able to cross safely with alligators, crocodiles, with an attractive blue lotus such as the Shakuni, and the blood of Jayadratha with Bhishma and Drona in the banks. Who? Kaivartakaha Keshavaha, because Pandavas had a ferryman called as Krishna. He was able to safely take their boat from one end to the other. So Krishna forms the Jagat Guru, the Jagadacharya concept of Sri Mahabharatam. But did he practice what he preached? He preached 700 shlokas, 18 chapters. We have close to 127 commentaries to Bhagavad Gita. Even Krishna will be confused. Sir, nan ishte matadidde sir. Adike 127 commentaries sir. Each acharya will say, Krishna says this. Krishna, oh, I didn't know. Just like that I said. Page after page, Adi Shankara comments, Ananda Tirtha comments, Ramanuja comments, Vedanta Deshika comments, Paishacha Bhashyam, Hanumanta Bhashyam, 127 commentaries to Krishna's utterance in 1 hour 25 minutes. 700 shlokas, we have 125 commentaries. Now what do we do? That is when we need to understand whether he practiced. When did he practice? He practiced even before he was born. See, in many families, if you ask, oh, is this your son? What does he do? Channag haadtandri. I surely listen to him. That's a very unsafe statement. Others should listen. Mother, automatically she has to listen. Nishchaya keltini re. You know the greatness of my son? There will be one Vaibhavam attached. While I was carrying him, I used to listen only to Mukhari. I used to listen only to Neelambari. So the mother tries to tell that the talent that is seen or unseen in the son has been coming even before he touched Mother Earth. So Krishna has to end up being an acharya even before he was born. What way did he practice? We know about a Raja called Anaka Dundubi. Have you heard of Anaka Dundubi? Yaar saravar. Who is Anaka Dundubi? Very good. Vasudeva's birth certificate name is Anaka Dundubi. If you go check his certificate, St. Martha's Hospital. Anaka Dundubi. In Madhava Panchakam, Uttakad Kavi says, Hari Hari Madhava Madhusudana Jaya Anaka Dundubi Bhagyapate Anaka Dundubi. Because when Vasudeva was born as a child to his parents, it seems that the celestials were so delighted that this man is going to bear Paramatma as his son. So this man's birth should be equally celebrated, and they started blowing the trumpets and the other auspicious musical instruments such as Anaka and Dundubi. Since that was played, he was called Anaka Dundubi. Later, his friends made fun of it. What name? Yeah. Anaka Dundubi. Then he searched and found the name Vasudeva to be very attractive, and that is why Anaka Dundubi Akka aka Vasudeva. So Vasudeva became his name. This Vasudeva had many patnis, and all the girls were from the same family. A feedback system was arranged. How is he? They said, Acha hai aadmi. So immediately in Kamsa's family they decided, let us get this lady also married to him. Her name was Devaki. So Devaki was married, and Devaki and Vasudeva were made to sit on a chariot. And how many of you came to MLR? Okay. Did I talk about Janavasam that day? No, I'm not. Because if I say, they'll say he's repeating. So I have to keep checking every now and then. So in Bharatiya marriages, we have this concept where prior to the marriage, the Muhurta Kalam, on the previous day, the boy is made to sit on a vehicle, traditionally in the 60s and 70s in a large ambassador car with sellotape that was useful in putting the roses on it. And then the boy would be made to sit, and that would be going on a slow procession, like our Silk Board Junction. Slow procession, it will be taken. See, this we call in different names. We call it Bharat, Janavasam, and so on. This is not a part of the Vaidika ritual. If you have to strictly go by the scriptures, this is not required. But this was done as a social understanding because it was an easy way to check if the boy is genuine or not. If the vehicle goes slowly, some lady, he is my husband. So it was a background check. Today we have various ways, mutual friends, LinkedIn connections, all that we can do. So when Vasudeva and Devaki were made to sit on the chariot, the only person whom he showered love, otherwise he was a tyrant, was Kamsa. Kamsa extremely loved his sister Devaki, and he said, I shall take the pleasure of riding this chariot. And he took to the reins and started riding the chariot. That is when an Ashariri Vakyam said, you must have heard this in Bhagavatam multiple times from Prema Pandurangji herself. An Ashariri Vak said, oh you fool! It didn't take the name. Fool, Kamsa turned. See, at times we know what we are inherently called. Hey Mudha, the one whom you are carrying in your chariot, her Ashtamo Garbham, the 8th fetus, shall be the cause of your death. Till now he was showering love on her. What should I buy for you? Louis Vuitton? What is that you want? Please let me know, with that baritone and that accent. But when the moment he knew that she, in a way, shall be the cause of his death, he took the sword from his cupboard, pulled her by the hair and was about to chop her. Had I been in Vasudeva's position, I would have run. Because I have other wives. See, it's a many-to-one function, set theory. So why should I bother? But Vasudeva said, Vrajanstishtan padaikena yathaiveekena gacchati yatha trinajalu kaivam dehi karma gatim gataha. My dear Kamsa, see, you want to kill her, which means you want to kill her body. Her body should be perishable and should be perished. But haven't you learned, as much as I have, that the shariram is different from the atma, and the atma is not perishable and it is eternal? Haven't you had the knowledge that the body is perishable and that is decomposable, whereas the atma isn't? So what are you going to kill in her, the atma or the shariram? Like a worm that moves from one blade of grass to the other. He says, Yatha trina jalu kaivam. Trinam means grass. So from one trinam to the other, the worm moves. So it is the worm that moves and the blade of grass that changes. What remains constant is the worm. What changes is the blade of grass. Similar to that is the movement of the Atma from one shariram to the other. Don't you know that? So he was explaining the concept of Jivatma and Shariram patiently to the man who is about to kill. Kamsa, sit. Sun lo pehle. Ajao, mere paas. He explained. This is when Narayana liked him a lot. He said, see, when I am going to be born as Krishna in the Ranabhumi called Kurukshetra, when everybody is ready to say 1, 2, 3 and we kill each other, I am going to patiently explain Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. My father should be similar to me. Look at this man. He is as similar as me. So, if I have to be a Jagadacharya called Gitacharya Krishna, my father should be similar to me. So, I choose him as my father. He practiced first and then preached later. So, choosing his father itself was a quality of Jagat Guru. Next, when, see, Shastram says, Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava. But when you have similar sounding words in Sanskritam, you arrange them in Akshara Rashi Kramam. Pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. Pa comes first, ma comes later. So Pitrudevo Bhava, Matrudevo Bhava should have been the order. But Vedam says Matrudevo Bhava and later Pitrudevo Bhava. Why? Because Apastamba says Matetyeke, Matetyeke. There is no one in this world to a child, be it the daughter or the son, who can equal the mother. If at all, I'm sure the elderly people here have visited Gaya to do Shraddham, you will end up offering more pindams for your mother than your father. Shastram says, Mate Tyeke. Apastamba goes to the extent of saying, if you read Apastamba Sutras, you'll know. In case your father lacks good character, not a man of good character, Apastamba says you can send him away, chase him out. He lacks character, chase him out. Apastamba Rishi says, in case your mother is, he gives a case scenario, in case your mother lacks character, even then you have to propitiate and seek blessings of her, because there is no equivalent to the mother. Mate Tyeke, Mate Tyeke. That is why Adi Shankara, despite becoming a Bala Sannyasi, when his mother Aryamba passes, he offers his tribute through a stotra grantham called Matrika Panchakam. Astam tavadiyam prasuti samaye durvara shulavyatha nairuchyam tanushoshanam malamayi shayyacha samvatsari. What a beautiful presentation of what a child means to the mother. Astam tavadiyam prasuti samaye. Shankara tells Aryamba, Mata, while I was housed in your amniotic sac, Durvara Shulavyatha. Haven't there been moments in the gestation period, probably in the second or third trimesters, where you felt a shooting pain as if somebody is pricking through a trident? Durvara Shulavyatha. It was me, Mata. Nairuchyam Tanushoshanam. Just because I was born later, your sufferings did not end there. Shayyacha Sambatsari. I was sleeping next to you on the same bed for 1 year, passing my stools and urine right next to you. Malamayi. That time, Mata, you didn't even close your nose and say this is obnoxious. You treated me with so much love, Mata. But when your Atma leaves your body, I am not there next to you, Mata. Astam tavadiyam prasuti samaye durvara shulavyatha nairuchyam tanushoshanam malamayi shayyacha sambatsari ekasyapina garbhabara viditaha, says Bhagavad Pada. So Mata becomes so important, more than the Pita. What did Bhagavan have to practice? He had to practice Matrivakya Paripalanam. But first in Ramavataram, he did Pitrivakya Paripalanam. He took the 40 watts bulb instead of 100 watts, which is Matridevo Bhava. He ended up doing Pitrivakya Paripalanam at the age of 25. See, when he had mastered the scriptures under the grace of Vasishtha, with that knowledge, he was able to understand the importance of his father. The moment his father said at the age of 12, leave, go behind Vishwamitra, he went. At the age of 25, his father said, go to the forest for 14 years, he followed. Pitrivakya Paripalana Ram, great, at the age of 25. But greater than Pitrivakya Paripalanam is Matrivakya Paripalanam. Did Bhagavan do that? He did that. When? In Krishna Avataram, when? The moment he was born. So what is the comparison? Krishna listened to Matridevo Bhava Matrivakya Paripalanam the moment he was born. Rama listened to his father Pitrivakya Paripalanam while he was 25 years. Who practiced it better? Krishna. What did he do? The moment he was born, Tam Adbhutam Balakam Ambuje Kshanam Ambuja Ikshanam. See, the shloka of Bhagavatam is absolutely captivating. Tam Adbhutam Balakam. How was this boy? Extraordinary boy. Imagine inside the cell 301, Mathura jail. Vasudeva alone is witness to an Adbhuta Balakam. He doesn't have some person next to him. Imagine there is such a big auditorium. Somebody is singing for 2 hours. There is only one person in the auditorium. There are concerts like that. One person. And the musician has to look at that person and sing. That person won't even have the gap to scratch his nose because there is only one person. Same is the case in Mathura jail. Vasudeva was absolutely flabbergasted. He did not know how to express the amazement, but he had nobody. Tam Adbhutam Balakam. For this Balaka Shabdam, there is a beauty. Balaha kaha yasya sa balakaha. This is one vyutpatti. Balakam generally means a little boy. But this was not what Shuka meant. Balakam. Kaha means Brahma. In Sanskritam, ka and 2 dots. Kaha means Brahma. If you say kaha, Brahma will come. Present, sir. Kaha is the other name of Brahma. Brahma has many other paryayavachaka shabdam. Virinchi, Chaturmukha, Vidhi. Easiest is Kaha. Kaha Brahma. Balaha Kaha Yasya Sa Balakaha. When he was born to Devaki and Vasudeva, from his Nabhi Kamalam arose a lotus, and on that lotus was seated Brahma. How big was the boy? Balakam. Alparthe Kaf Pratyayaha. You use the suffix ka in Sanskritam to denote that the boy is extremely small. Extremely small boy. Head, neck, chest, thighs, leg. 2 hands behind. In that one there is one small chakram and there is one small shankam. Matchstick like gada. Small lotus. Such a small boy. In that small boy, small nabhi, from it arose one small lotus. On that lotus was seated the 4-headed, bumblebee-sized Brahma. So Devaki, when she saw her son, she was amazed. She thought she produced the son alone. She did not know she had a grandson as well. Tamadbhutam balakam. She became a mother and grandmother at the same time. tamadbhutam balakam ambujekshanam. The boy had beautiful eyes that were akin to the petals of a newly blossomed lotus. Adbhutam balakam ambujekshanam. Chaturbhujam, in that small form of the Bhagavan, he had 4 hands. Shankha Gadayudharyudam, he had the Ayudhams. And on his chest Devaki was able to zoom and see. Shrivatsalakshmam, she saw Shrivatsam, the mole, seated on which was Mahalakshmi. So she became a mother-in-law as well. See, all in one. Shrivatsalakshmam galashobhikaustubham. Next to Mahalakshmi was the Kaustubha, the precious gem that the Lord adorns. Why was this Kaustubha gem placed? Because Mahalakshmi had to be engaged. How long will she keep sitting? So the easiest way for the man or the woman, the young man and the woman, is to give a mirror next to them. They'll keep looking. Shrivatsalakshmam galashobi kaustubam pitambaram. He was adorning the yellow silk. Sandrapayoda saubhagam maharha vaidurya kireta kundalatvisha parishvakta sahasra kuntalam uddhamakanchingada kankanadibir virochamanam Vasudevam aikshata. Vasudeva saw. Now Devaki, as a normal mother, she was petrified. She said, see, there is CCTV here. What if Kamsa catches a glimpse of you, extraordinary child with 4 hands, 32 teeth, with Ayudhams, Kamalam, Brahma, Mahalakshmi. He may come and harm you. So she says, Upasamhara Vishwatman Adau Rupamalaukikam Shankachakra Gada Padma Shriya Jushtam Chaturbhujam. As a mother, I am extremely delighted to see you, Bhagavan, with 32 teeth. Vijachandra Chandrika Maikshata. With 4 hands. With Mahalakshmi, with Brahma. But my brother can't take this. Please, Upasamhara, my dear son, whoever be you, keep those 2 extra hands in the hiding. Throw away those weapons. I don't want 32 teeth now. I will wait. So the moment he heard his mother, the boy took each of his tooth, threw them away, threw the Ayudhams, hid his 2 hands, and gave a smile that was so mischievous enough with no teeth and said, this is how you wanted me to be. Vedam says, Matradevo bhava, matetyeke, matetyeke. Did Rama follow? Indirectly, yes. Directly, he followed his Pita. Who followed his Mata? Krishna. So he practiced first Matradevo bhava and then became Jagadacharya. So he practiced Matradevo bhava. Now, the next stage in Krishna Avataram, Yogamaya tells that the baby has to be swapped. This baby has to be kept in Gokulam. Number 104, Gokulam Cross Street, Gokulam. And the girl child born there should be brought here. Vasudeva agrees, he had no other choice. In the middle of the night, he takes Krishna to Gokulam. But there is a problem in Gokulam. How will he reach Gokulam? It's a GPS. Vaikuntaloka Manimantapa Margadai. If you have to go to Vaikuntham also, you need GPS. Because who will advise the Atma how to go? So, somebody has to show the path. That is when the Acharya says that there is a village deity. We call it Grama Devata. And in many, many villages across Dakshina Bharatam, you will see the Grama Devata holding a sword like this with a huge moustache, being venerated by the folks of the village. They are Vigrahams, Achetana. But the moment Krishna was born, everything was magical, that was beyond any kind of logical explanation. So these Achetana Vigrahas of the Grama Devata holding the swords attained Chaitanyam for a moment, and their swords which were held straight turned like this and became arrow marks. So Vasudeva was guided through the gullies of Gokulam this way. Go this way, because it was already pouring cats and dogs. There at least cows and calves. So he had to be directed. He went there and he took the girl child, kept this boy child and came. Now the beauty is, when he left the jail premises of Mathura, how was it? He was in fetters. He was tied with the iron shackles. The moment he held Krishna, who was born to them, in his hands, the shloka says, Charamatas charnadiva devaki patiramuchyata shrinkhalatas stirat nikhila bandha nivartaka sannidhau vigalanam nigalasya kimadbhutam. The moment he held the newly born Krishna, his child, in his hands, with fetters that were tied, iron shackles that were tied, they unfettered. Those shackles came off and they fell on the ground. The Acharya asks, what is so surprising, Krishna? Because you are the Acharya who is born to remove us from the shackles of karma. Will it take time or efforts for you to remove these shackles or fetters made of mere ferrum or iron? So the moment Krishna was held, that karma bandhanam was taken. So he practiced, because he tells in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tva sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami. I shall ensure, Arjuna, that your sanchita karma and prarabdha karma, your accrued karma and the karma that you're experiencing now, shall be annihilated. If he has to annihilate that karma, he has to practice that first. So for his father, he was able to take him off the iron shackles. How long will it take for him to get us off of the karma shackles? He practiced as Jagadacharya first. So be it Matradevo Bhava, be it the choosing of the father Vasudeva, be it removing the fetters of the shackles that he held, Krishna was a Jagadacharya who practiced first and preached later. That said, in Bhagavatam, we come across two such instances. One comes in Bhagavatam, the other comes in the Anubhavam of the Alvars. What is that Anubhavam? The Anubhavam is famous incident. Krishna was consuming some mud. He was consuming. Balarama came and complained. My dear mother, see what Krishna is eating. Mother wanted to reprimand her son. She said, have you had earth, mud? He said, no. Then she said, open your mouth. And in that, she was able to see the entire NASA. All the grahas. And we have this immortalized in the lyrics of great Vagayakaras. Taige bayalli Jagavannu torida jagadodharaka nama udupi Sri Krishna Krishna nibe ganne baro. So he showed the world. Now there is another instance quoted by Periyalvar, the foster father of the great saint poetess Andal. It seems, after having consumed so much of dairy and dairy products, his tongue was pristine white. So she wanted to clean the tongue. No tongue cleaner was available. So she used to use turmeric every day, curcumin, on her body. That was fleshy enough. And as she kept on using the same strand of turmeric, it lost its pulpy portion and became very hard. So instead of discarding, she thought, let this be the tongue cleaner. Yashoda, she was very good in reusing and reusing. Kayyum kalum nimirnda gadara nirpayati. Periyalvar says, first she gave him a massage with oil. If you go to Uttara Bharatam, there is still a practice amongst mothers and grandmothers to give a proper oil massage to the boy or the girl and leaving the child to receive the rays of the sun. They will leave the child like that and then give them a bath. Yashoda did that. She, after having massaged him in the oil, she sat on the floor extended her legs, pushed her gagra up, left the child between the crevice formed between the two legs, extended legs. She had waters which were neither cold nor hot. And she had some gooseberry paste put into it. Alvar says, because by mistake, if the water enters the boy's mouth, the boy should find the water very tasty. So she put some gooseberry pulp into the waters and then gave him a bath. The boy's body was smeared in oil and he was so slippery that the boy held her feet. Immediately Alvar asks, she has never understood what Shastram is, leave alone understanding what is inside the Shastram. She doesn't know what Shastram is. She has never been to a school. And to this lady who doesn't know what education spells like, this man who Sakshat Jnanamurti is touching her feet. Sanakadiyar tava yogam sheidu varundi sadhitadai punidamave elidil pera enna tavam sheidane Yashoda engum neerai parabrahmam amma vendraleka. This lady is giving him a bath. After giving him a bath, what did Alvar say? Kaiyum kalum nimirndu gadara neer payya aati. Giving him a bath. Now she said, kammi. Sir, did she speak in Tamil? The cow? Tanko? Had I told this in Chennai, they would have no, sir. Hindi theriyadu poda. So she said, show your tongue. He showed. She used that turmeric, that hardened turmeric, to clear that white, pristine white layer that has smeared his tongue. As she cleared, she saw something in his cavity. When she went, Nasa. Payya aati pasanjiru manjalal ayya navalitaalukku anga titta vayyam elum kandal pillai vaayule. Vayyam elum kandal. So this boy was able to show Yashoda that magic of his creation. What does this imply? This is an Upanishadic statement, exactly an Upanishadic statement. Shvetashvataram states, Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha na medhaya na bahuna shrutena yamaivesha vivrunute tena labhyaha tasyaisha atma vivrunute tanogum swam is an Upanishadic statement. If you've had the bhagyam to listen to Upanishadic meanings from any acharya, you'll be blessed. In Shvetashvatara Upanishad, we have primarily 10. Isha kena katha prashna mundamandukya taitareya aitareya brihadaranyaka Shvetashvatara. Then you have 5 other which are important. Chandogya, Mahanarayana, Subala, Kaushitaki, Mantrika. 15 Upanishads. Extremely essential to understand Bhagavad Gita. See, I keep requesting the Astikas wherever I go. Do not get into this belief that you have to take Gita first. It will be a disaster. Bhagavad Gita is a dissertation topic. You have to begin with Ramayanam, Bhagavatam, Bharatam, Vishnu Puranam, Bhakta Vijayam, and then you can relate very well to Gita. It should not become a fashion. I've been listening to the Gita. Gita states that there is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. No yoga will come there. See, the point is, I'm not making fun, please don't take me otherwise. The point is, our acharyas had a neat syllabus laid for us. You cannot understand lanthanides and actinides when you do not know who Mendeleev is. Why did he place lanthanides and actinides separately below the table? Why should the species name begin with a small letter and genus should begin with a capital letter? Why should C of Chlorophytum borivilianum have a capital whereas borivilianum B have a small letter? Same is the case with Bhagavad Gita. If you have to understand the 2nd adhyaya of Sthita Prajna, the 9th adhyaya of Rajavidya Rajaguhyam, just like that, you'll be confused. Do not make this a prestige statement. You have to discuss with your friends, so I'm lifting Gita. No. If you really want to understand Gita, begin with the Ramayanam. Understand Mahabharatam. Understand Bhagavatam. Understand Vishnu Puranam. Understand the life and the works of great acharyas. He did say, Vivek ji said, Parama Bhagavatamoni Varashashi Vibhakara Sanaka Sanandana Disha Surakim Purusha Kanaka Kashipusutanara Tumburu Pavana Sunu Bala Chandra Dhara Shuka Saroja Baba Bhusura Barulu Parama Pavanulu Ghanulu Shashvatulu Kamala Baba Sukhamusadanu Baba Mugaka Yandaro Mahanu. Understand the lives and works of the Alvars, the Nayanmars, Ramanuja, Adishankara, Vedanta Deshika, Purandaradasa, Kanakadasa, Ananda Tirtha, who's called Purna Prajna, Sadashiva Brahmendra, Narayana Tirtha, Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshitar, Annamaya, Bhadrachara Ramadas, Kshetraya, Swati Tirunal, Iriyamantambi, Jayadeva, Mirabai, Surdas, Eknath, Tukaram, Tyagaraja, Dikshitar, Shama Shastri, Arunachala Kavi, Kamban, at least 40 such great acharyas. Then when you read Bhagavad Gita, you will relate every verse to what you have read before. So Bhagavad Gita is a very high topic. Now coming back, Upanishadic meanings are found in Bhagavad Gita. See, Bhagavad Gita should be, we say Sarvo Upanishado Gavaha, correct? Upanishads in the form of a cow, the milk that the cow gave, the cow is nothing but the summation of all the Upanishads. The milk that comes is Bhagavad Gita. We say Dugdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gita Amritam. Milk is Gita. Where did this milk come from? The cow. Who is the cow? All the Upanishads. So when you study the Bhagavad Gita, every verse you should relate it to an Upanishadic statement. That is the right way of learning. You should say, oh, this line comes in Mantrika Upanishad. This line comes in Chandogya Upanishad, Sadvidya Apakaranam. Oh, this comes in Ishavasya Upanishad. This is how you should relate. It is just not understanding word-to-word translation. Dharmakshetre, on the land of Dharmakshetra. Kurukshetre, on the land of Kurukshetra. Why is Kurukshetra called Dharmakshetram? That should be our way of questioning. It is not word-to-word translation. See, what does Dhritarashtra say? Mamakav Pandavas Chaiva. You read the English translation. On the land of Dharma, Kurukshetra. What are my sons and what are Pandu's sons doing? O Sanjaya. This will be the translation. Now I can explain this for 2 minutes. I can say, he says, O Sanjaya. I will put active voice to passive voice. Passive voice to active voice. That is not what the commentary is. There is a meaning there. See, in the first line itself, Dhritarashtra tells his intent. If he was a true administrator, he should ask, what are the sons of Dhritarashtra and what are the sons of Pandu doing? See, if he is an administrator, I'll give you an example. In Malayalam, if you talk to Astikas of Malayalam, they will never say I. Auntie-ku valla kovamanu. Aarana auntie? Avalana auntie. She will never say, I am sad. She will say, Auntie ku valare kovam. Aarana auntie? Njanana auntie. So they will always talk in the third person. So Dhritarashtra should have asked, what are the sons of Dhritarashtra and what are the sons of Pandu doing? Or if he was asking in terms of relationship, he should have said, what are my sons doing and what are my brother's sons doing? He mixed both. He said, what are the sons of Pandu doing and what are my sons doing? Meaning that I want my sons to flourish whereas sons of Pandu to diminish. So first shloka itself gives the intent of Dhritarashtra. So Bhagavad Gita is an ocean. So in the Bhagavad Gita you have to spot the Upanishadic statement, Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha namedhaya nabahuna shrutena. We read the Upanishads, we understand the Brahma Sutras to understand Parabrahman better. But Upanishad says, just because you read the Upanishads, it doesn't mean Bhagavan will be sakshatkaram to you. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha. Just because you listen, just because you take notes, just because you attend a lecture, just because you render a lecture, don't be sure that you can understand Paramatma. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha namedhayana bahuna shrutena. Then how do we understand? Yamaivesha vivrunute. Finally, Paramatma should choose you to reveal himself to you. The question is, did Yashoda study the scriptures to see this entire nasa in his mouth? No. He chose her. So he became an Upanishadic Acharya even before he delivered Bhagavad Gita. So he is Jagat Guru. Now when Krishna was born and the girl baby was exchanged, girl baby was brought here, Navami Tithi she was born, Ashtami Tithi end Krishna was born. Please understand, our Panchanga calculation is different from our daily calculation. For us it begins at 12 in the night, clock struck 12, says Oliver Goldsmith. For us it is nothing like that. Ashtami Tithi will be there till 3 p.m. From 3 p.m. Navami Tithi will begin. So we should not, that is why we have many Janmashtamis. Because some of them go by the Tithi, some go by the Nakshatra. So Krishna has to attend many houses multiple days. So Panchangam calculation is different. When the Ashtami Tithi was coming to a close, Krishna was born. When the Navami Tithi began, Yashoda gave rise to the girl. She gave birth to the girl. So technically she was born in the next Tithi. Born in the next Tithi, she is regarded as Krishna's sister. Sarasi Janabha Sodari Shankari Pahi Mambara Guru Janani Madashamani Mahisha Suramatini Mandagamani Mangalavara Pradaini Sarasi Janabha Sodari. So this girl was swapped. The moment the girl entered the premises, 301 Mathura jail, remember, she started crying aloud. That was amplified through various speakers. One speaker was placed in Krishna's presidential suite. He got perturbed by it. He took the sword from his cupboard and started running towards the cell, pulled her. He was used to killing. First 6 children he killed this way. He had got practice now. Asau iti kishorikam bhaginikakara alingitam dvipaha nalini kantarat. Look at Bhattatri, Narayani and Bhattatri's explanation. Nalini iva kantarat. Who is Nalini? Actress. Arana Nalini. Nalini means lotus. Nalini kantarat. Like how an elephant would enter a pond that is infested with lotuses and would effortlessly pluck the lotus, he took this girl child effortlessly like an elephant would do to a lotus. He pulled her. Kantarat, Nalini Kantarat iva mrinalikam akshipan. This is the upama. He pulled her like effortlessly, like how an elephant would do to a lotus. But what happened to this girl? She escaped from his clutches and flung into the air with 8 hands. Amba, Shambhavi, Chandramaulir, Abala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Kali, Haimavati, Shivadrinayani, Katyayani, Bhairavi, she went into the air. Like how? For plucking lotus elephant. How did she go? The Shlokam is Tatav Bhavat Upasakaha Jhatiti Mrityupashativa. Like how a person who empathizes with his fellow human beings and is extremely devoted to Vishnu calls himself or herself a Vaishnava Purusha or Purusha Stri, escapes the clutches of Yama. See, in Vishnu Puranam there is a Shlokam. Swapurusham abhivikshya pashahastam. Once Yamadutas were leaving. They were leaving and they were going towards where Yamadutas will always have job. That to December 31st night they will have immense job. How people are driving they don't know. So they will be in different places. So when Yamadutas left, one day Yama called them and said, Idhar aao. And he muttered something in their ears. What did he mutter? Swapurusham abhivikshya pashahastam vadati. He spoke. Yama spoke. Vadati Yamaha. Kila tasya karnamule. He uttered a secret. What secret? Parashara says, Parihara madhusudana prapannan. Your jurisdiction lies. Yamadutas, your jurisdiction lies everywhere. From Ukraine to Gaza to everywhere. Everywhere your jurisdiction lies. Parihara Madhusudana Prapannam Prabhuraham Anyanrinama Vaishnavanam. Your jurisdiction lies everywhere, immaterial of any disparity, but a person who is a devotee of Madhusudana, jurisdiction will change that time. As per Article 54F, Vishnu Dutas will come and take. That time you have no jurisdiction, beware. That is why Bhagavad Pada says, if you recite Govindam Bhaja, Kriyate Tasya Yamenana Charcha. You don't have to debate or discuss or argue. Sir, 30 rupayi sir ashte. Nimgu beda, nangu beda, 27.5. No debating, no nothing. You don't have to cancel the ride and then get a beating. So, for Yamadevata or Dutas, you don't have to debate. Kriyate tasya yamena charcha bhaja govindam. Yamenana charcha, you don't have to debate with Yama or this Dutas. Vishnu Puranam Parashara says you don't have to debate with Vishnu Dutas. So technically a Vishnu Bhakta doesn't fall under the ambit or the jurisdiction of Yamadutas. Like how a Vaishnava escapes from the pasham of Yama, Durga escaped from the clutches of Kamsa, it seems. So while he was born and his sister was born, they exemplified the Vishnu Purana Vakyam, so he is a Jagat Guru. Now, is it very tough? It will be like that. No, dear. See, in the Vedas, we have 4 bhagams. I will tell you, the initial set of Britishers who came in the late 18th century, they were very intelligent. You know what they did? They translated, they first said, don't learn Sanskritam. Is that going to give you job? That's all. We stopped. Immediately if someone says, we will listen. Matradevo Bhava. Victoria Maharani says, we stopped. That's all. Now when we were deficient in our own language, they translated the Vedas for us in English, which is their language. I will tell you what damage they did. I have explained this in many of my Upanyasams for the benefit of our dear Dantavarsham Bhaktas. I will explain. See, generally in any language, we interpret or we comment based on the context. Please guys, give me peace. What is the spelling of peace? Huh? P-A-C. Correct? This is an abstract note. Please give me peace. Somebody is cutting one sweet cake or adirasam or whatever. I say, please give me a piece. What is the spelling? P-I-E-C. How did you know that? Context. A piece. We use an indefinite article. For abstract noun, you don't use indefinite articles. Correct? Premaji was an expert in the English language. So as a tribute to her, I will do one small 1-minute class on articles. Indefinite articles, definite articles. Indefinite articles are a and an. 2-mark question. 2nd standard. Definite article is the or the. You pronounce it the way you see the consonant or the vowel sound. So if you say a piece, it means P-I-E-C-E. Give me peace, abstract noun, A won't be added, so it is an abstract noun, P-E-A-C-E. You also see the context. This is how we interpret in most languages. Let's take Hindi. Kal मैं आया था. Kal का मतलब क्या होता है? Kal मैं आऊंगा. Same spelling, same pronunciation. You check the verb there. Aya tha, past tense. Aunga, future tense. So all languages we interpret this way. But for Vedam, if you say Ajaha, then it is Brahma. Ajaha, then goat. So in Vedam you interpret based on the sound, not on the context. Remember this. You know what the Britishers intelligently did? They absolutely excluded the sound concept. And they interpreted wherever they wanted as goat instead of Brahma. You're able to get what It's a very sinistrous plan, but imagine the thought process that they had. And they gave those Vedas to us. Our children studied those Vedas. What does Vedas talk about? They say, now we don't know how to explain. So Vedas are very important. That is why Srimad Bhagavatam, you know what is the Dhyana Shlokam? Janmadhyasya yatonvayati taratas charthe swabhignyaswarat. Janmadhyasya yataha. Remember this. What is Janmadhyasya yataha? Can someone say? Have you heard this Janmadhyasya yataha? El barate. Ille barate sir. Yen prashne idu, ah? Very good. Who said that? Excellent. Give him a big round of applause. In 545 Brahma Sutras called Vedanta Sutras put together, Athato Brahma Jignasa, Janmadhyasya Yataha, Shastra Yonitva, these are all Brahma Sutras. See, I'll tell a few words about Brahma Sutras. You won't come to the topic at all. That is Dushyanth's trademark style. Now, how do we know where to put a full stop? In English we say a sentence should begin with a see, we are all experts in English. Capital letter, end with a full stop. But how did our rishis write? They would never put a full stop. They will keep on writing one long line of some 600 words. Where will you cut? Wherever there is a full stop, they will repeat the last word twice. For example, Janmadhyasya yataha yataha. Then you have to put a full stop there. If they have to conclude a chapter, they will repeat the sentence twice. Nasa punaravartate, nasa punaravartate. That means it completes the chapter. For completing a sentence, last word twice. Chapter, last sentence twice. So you would know the punctuation. Same is the case with architecture. If you have to visit a temple, I would suggest do some groundwork and go. It is not about whiling away your time in some piece of stone. You have to study. If you take up a temple such as the Chola, the Vijayanagara, the Nayaka architecture, you will see a grand hall made in such granite, hard granite, with pillars. You will see the Yali pillars. Have you seen that mystical creature Yali pillars? Generally, if you take up any building, you will look to the plan. For suppose we have a crack in our house, immediately the civil engineer will ask, where is your plan? Show your plan. None of our temples have a ground plan. How will we know where is the load-bearing pillar? If you go to a mandapam filled with Yali pillars, one pillar alone will be in the opposite direction. Instead of facing the other pillars, they will be in a different direction. That is the load-bearing pillar. So when you do renovation or restoration to the temple, you should not touch that pillar. Then the mandapam will fall. So they did this. If you go to Chola temples of Tanjavur district, whenever you have time, typically in a Vishnu temple, on the wall or on the pillar, very close to the wall, you will find one Kalinganartana Krishna. Tamitajam, takadajam, tagadigatajam, tam tamitajam, takita, takita tajam, tam tamitatajam, tagadajam, tagadigatajam, tam nila manohara jala vibhushana. So you see that Kalinganartana Krishna. There is a snake. Krishna stands with one leg on the hood and the other leg floating in the air, holding the tail of the snake. Why is this found? Wherever Krishna's finger points to holding the tail, it means behind that is a secret passage. If you go to any Chola temple on the wall in a Vishnu temple, it means, when I say secret passage, don't think it will go immediately. Some person will put in Insta reel, 42 kilometers. All these unrealistic things we should not say. It is a granary. So it will just extend for a few feet. They will have food grains stored. It will be behind that wall. In a Shiva temple, you have Nartana Ganapati. Ganapati's finger will point this way or this way. That will show you the granary area. So there were subtle ways of telling. So in Brahma Sutra, there is a sutra called Janmadhyasya Yataha. So that Brahma Sutra becomes a shloka in Bhagavatam. Janmadhyasya yatonvayat itaratas charthe swabhignyaswarat. So there was a subtle way of telling all these cryptic sentences through our shlokas. Now, how do we understand that in the Vedam? Vedam, there are 4 levels. Brahmanam, Aranyakam, Samhita, Upanishad. So in the Aranyaka Bhagam of the Vedas, Paramatma's qualities are discussed and relished. Aranyakam also means the product that comes from forest. So there is a shloka which says, Aranyakanam prabhava phalanam aranyajatani phalanya bhipsan. Krishna used to love the products of the forest. Aranyakanam. This has a double meaning. He loves the fruits that come from the forest. At the same time, he loves the Vedic portion called Aranyakanam. So one lady who used to be in the forest, she used to collect jamun fruits, naval param, and she used to sell. And as she used to sell, Krishna was so much attached to the jamun fruit that he would be in the backyard listening to her cry out, stating that I've brought jamun fruits. He would pick up some grains and Tadar Nadai Nadavano. He used to come crossing those 7 boundaries of that long village house. By the time he used to come to the front yard, all the grains would have fallen to the floor. Just one grain stuck here, the other stuck here. Aranyakanam prabhava phalanam aranyajatani phalanya bhipsan. Then he used to say, Stri, give me those jamun fruits. She intently looked at his palms, took those 2 grains, kept it aside and gave fruits. Krishna felt bad. I should have given you more grains. You seem to be losing so badly, O woman. You should have asked me for more grains. She said, I'm absolutely aware that I just got 2 grains in return for the fruits that I gave. What else do you want, O lady? I desire nothing. Give me moksha. Krishna said, who told you I give moksha? Did you go to dental college? Tumhe kaun bataya? She said, Sujata rekhatmaka shankha chakram tamrodaram tasya kararavindam vilokayantya phala vikrakanya. Sujata rekhatmaka shankha chakram. Krishna, whenever I have time, I attend to discourses, she said. I heard one person state that Bhagavan has the rekha of shankha chakram. Remember, it's a study now, where you study the rekhas of the fingers. See, Jyotisham is a shastram. It is a Vedangam for us. One part of Jyotisham that was founded by some of the rishis of Chidambaram went as manuscripts to Vairishwaran Kovil in Tamil Nadu. That's called Nadi Jyosyam, if you've heard of it. They look to your fingerprint, which is very unique. We do our RFID tags with that, right? So it is very, very important. I'm sure in companies they let you with either your tag, where you tail tag, or they will ask you to use your fingerprint, which is very unique. If you have to go to the US or probably to get your Schengen visa, let's say keep your thumbnails here, keep your 4 fingers, keep this finger there. We will not feel like going at all. Ittavi. So there you see Shankha Chakra Rekha. Sujata Rekhatmaka Shankha Chakram. Krishna, I have heard in discourses that the one who has got the Rekha of Shankha Chakram is the one who grants moksham. I have just heard of it. Today when you granted me those 2 grains, I just looked intently into your palms. I saw the Shankha Chakra Rekha. I immediately knew you grant moksha. So I don't want grains. Give me moksham. Sujata rekhatmaka shankha chakram. He later tells, 66th verse, 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita, he says, Moksha ishyami. Don't worry, my dear Arjuna, I'll give you moksham. He preaches that I will give moksham, for which he should have practiced earlier. He practiced by giving this fruit seller moksham, so he is Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Now, there is this famous thing that we keep listening, hearing, relishing. Krishna used to steal butter. I don't know what joy he derived. But children say, they enjoy when they listen to anecdotes that speak about Krishna stealing butter. What he did, he used to steal butter and would cause damage to the pot as well. He used to take the pot, consume the butter and break that pot. What does this signify? In Upanishad there is a statement, Bhokta bhogyam preritaram cha matva. See, why have I chosen the topic Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum, where I have to compare the Upanishads? Because when I am giving a lecture, which is in fact a memorial lecture commemorating such a great Krishna Bhakta, such as Prema Pandurangji, left and right I should quote Gita. That will be a great tribute to her. So that is why I have chosen this topic. It may seem tough. If you listen to 4 or 5 such lectures, you will get used to it. So don't get petrified. Sir, we want easy lectures, sir. Every minute there should be a joke. Every 5 minutes there should be singing, whether it is good or bad. 2 hours should go. See, we should advance ourselves to Vedanta Bhagam. Ramayanam, Bhagavatam, Bharatam should push us to the next level called Gita. So this is an intermediate step. So here, Krishna used to take the butter and used to break the pot. What does this simplify? It signifies Bhokta Bhogyam Preritaram Cha Matva. Bhokta, the one who enjoys. What does he enjoy? The one which is enjoyed is Bhogyam. Who is the one who instigates the Bhokta to enjoy the Bhogyam? He is called Prerita. These 3 words you have to remember. Next time when you come, carry a book and a pen. Because when you take notes and you share those notes with your friends and children, Dharma Pravachana will happen automatically. See, you have all come. I am extremely delighted, happy. I am on cloud another 9, 10. But it should go to cloud 11, right? Knowledge is now in the cloud. So for that knowledge to stay in that cloud, you should take notes. Bhokta bhogyam preritaram cha matva. Remember this very important Upanishadic Vakyam. Bhokta. Bhokta is the Chetana Vastu, which is the Jivatma. Bhogyam Achetanam. Prerita Paramatma. What does this signify? Paramatma says, like how for a Jivatma, Achetana becomes the Bhogyam, for Paramatma, Jivatma is the Bhogyam. Like how the Achetana is destroyed. See, many of us will be attached to our grandparents, grandmother, grandfather. While they are living, we'll take photo, party, selfie. See here party, see there party. Now party is dead. Will we store her body in the showcase? See, this is my party. She lived for 90 years. The next day you will burn party. Whether you love her the most, we know that what we loved in her was the Jivatma's presence in the body and not exactly the body. So we let the body get burnt. How much ever you apply, L'Oreal, foundation, eyeshadow, one day it will come in the form of one Horlicks bottle. The ashes will come. That is how Vedanta is. This body will become perishable one day. Anti-wrinkle, everything we apply. One day it will become one full bottle. Tata enge iddan tata. Ajja ellidare. Illi Horlicks bottle ellidare. One day see, this is the essence of dharma. Body is perishable. Shariratma Brahmam is what Krishna clears in Bhagavad Gita. Because when Arjuna says, I'm going to kill my grandfather, Krishna says, no, you're not going to kill your grandfather because your grandfather's Atma is eternal. Who picked this up? People who throw bombs. They say that is what we are also doing. We know, sir, Atma is eternal. Because you can always end up misusing Bhagavad Gita's meanings. Thank God, till now they have not been using this. No. Krishna ends up enjoying the butter like how he enjoys the Jivatma. Krishna says that the body is perishable like how the pot has to be thrown. So there is a teaching there. Even while he steals the butter, he practices that first through his teaching by saying that the body is perishable like the pot, the Jivatma is enjoyable like the butter. Thereby I am preaching you now, Arjuna, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Now, till now it was easy. content. Let's go one step further, sir. It is very tough to exit the hall now. People have blocked all this. You have stuck here. This is the best opportunity for me. So, I have to instill some Vedanta Jnanam here. See, Gunam in Sanskritam means a quality. Gunams are of two types. One is Swarupa Nirupaka Dharmam. That which makes Bhagavan essentially Bhagavan. So there is a statement, remember this, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This is an Upanishadic statement. Satyatvam. What does Satyatvam mean? Satya andre ಏನು? Truth. ಏನು ಸರಿ, ಇದು ಕೂಡ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕರೆದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ವಿವೇಕ್. Satyam means truth. Where is that boy? ಏನಡಾ ನಿಜಲು ತಮಿಳ ಕನ್ನಡ ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀಯ ನೀನು? தமிழ். ஐயோ பயமா, என்னை வாழ வைக்கும் தமிழ் தெய்வங்களே, செய்வீர்களா? சொல்லுடா என்ன? ஓ சத்தியம்னா என்ன சொல்லு? ட்ரூத். யங் இண்டியானா. So satyam means truth, correct? But in Upanishad, satyatvam has a different meaning. Remember this. In Upanishad, satyatvam is not truth. Krishna tells this in Gita. He says, Arjuna, bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacha Arjuna. Arjuna, both of us are similar. You have had multiple births, so have I. Arjuna said, same pinch. See Krishna, both of us are similar. Wohi मैं तुमसे पहले से बता रहा हूँ. We are similar. Krishna said, wait. You have had multiple births, so have I. I remember all of them. You remember none. So what does this imply, Krishna asked Arjuna? Because your births were as a result of your karma. For your accrued karma, you got a janma. For your accrued karma, you got a janma. So as you accrue karma and enjoy karma, you end up creating more karma. So you remember none of your previous births. For me, my births are not as a result of my karma, but because of my ichha, my will. If I choose to be Vasudeva's son, I am Vasudeva Krishna. If I choose to be Dasharatha's son, I become Dasharathi Rama. It is my willpower that makes me born. It is your karma that makes you born. Hence, all your births cannot be remembered. I remember all because they are my avataras. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna. So the one whose birth is not as a result of karma like us, but as a result of his ichha, that gunam is called satyatvam. When jnanam, how many people have gathered in this Tirumalagiri temple now? Hey, same sisters, same dress. Tell me. இப்போ எவ்வளோ இருக்கு? கன்னடானா தெலுங்கு, தமிழா என்னது? தமிழ் பேசக்கூடிய பெண்ணே, எத்துணை பேர் இப்போது திருமலைகிரி கோவிலில் உள்ளார்கள்? டக்குன்னு சொல்லணும், இன்னைக்கே சொல்லணும், நாளைக்குலாம் சொல்லக்கூடாது. We don't know, correct? So we have knowledge about something or somebody at some point in time. Before giving the exam, I will know. After that, I will forget. That is engineering semester. Correct. After giving your exams, will an engineer remember? We have seen the quality of our flyovers. See, now you trace back what will be the quality of our engineering studies now. So jnanam has sankocha vikasam. These are all very particular Vedanta words you have to remember. Sankocha vikasam means it will go to a sukshma dasha and then attain a sthula dasha. It will know. You will know something at some point in time. You may not know before that. You may not know after that. See, if I have told you something new today, you will say, Tumba chennagide nange gottagilla. Fine. When you hear, you will remember. After you go, you will forget. Correct? So, jnanam attains sankocha vikasam. The one who has knowledge about everything at all points in time has no such expansion and contraction of knowledge. That gunam is called jnanatvam. The one who is pervasive in space and time is called anantatvam. Satyatvam, jnanatvam, anantatvam. This has been compressed in the Upanishad. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. These are the essential characteristics to call one Paramatma. Now let's come to Bhagavan. If he keeps telling that I have all these qualities, we cannot approach. He should have qualities that makes him accessible to him. Such qualities are called Saulabhyam and Saushilyam. Now I'll go one level further. You, sir? Okay. Now, the one who showed his Vishwarupam in the 11th Adhyayam. 11th Adhyayam he says, Divyam dadami te chakshuhu Arjuna, look at my Vishwarupam. He shows the entire Vishwam as his Shariram. Sura Nara Khaga Go Bhogi Gandharva Daityehi Chitram Ramyatetam Tribhuvana Vapusham Vishnumisham Namami. He says the entire Jagat is my Shariram. Who is that Lord who showed his divine attributes? It is the same Lord to whom Yashoda said, I have tied you to a mortar. You move from this place, Badava. Yadi shaknoshi gachatvam atichanchala cheshtita. Okay, I'll stand here itself. The 11th Adhyaya Vishwarupa Krishna, who has got Paratvam, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma, is so accessible to Yashoda when she says, if you move from this place, one whack, don't. This lady is able to control Paramatma in one place because he exhibits his quality of being accessible to his devotees. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Bhagavan should be accessible. If he is not accessible, then why will we go? So, this is Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Now there is a beautiful Vishayam here. I will take you to Ramayanam. At the commencement of Ramayanam, the Devas approach Narayana in Kshirabdhi. The time Indra is generally the leader of the Devas, he comes and says, lot of problems caused by this Ravana, sir. Kuch aapko karna padega. Then Bhagavan says, Siddha Gandharva Yakshascha Tatastvam Sharanam Gataha, don't worry, I will be born. That time the Devas, first Ayudha Purushas asked. Ayudha Purushas are Shankha, Chakra, Gada. These are all the Ayudha Purushas. So these Ayudha Purushas asked, what should we do? See, you go to somebody's house, assuming that they will be very hospitable, they will offer you food, they will be very nice to you, talk to you well. After half an hour, they say, sir, ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಮನೇನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. They will ask us to take care of their house and they will leave. So the Ayudha Purushas were subservient to Bhagavan, assuming that he will entertain them. Suddenly Bhagavan promises the Devas, don't worry, I will be born as Rama. Then Shankha, Chakra, Gada and Adishesha, sir, now yen sir madodu illi. Neevilla andre now yen sir madodu. That is when Bhagavan said, Shankha, Chakra, Adishesha, you be born as my brothers, Bharata, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. Then the Devas said, sir, now yen sir madodu, Vaikunta Kalia agbidatte. Vacancy iratte. Now yen sir madodu. That is when the Devas internally discussed. They had one brainstorming session. And then Indra said, I will be born as Vali. Surya said, my Amsha will be Sugriva. Vayu with the Amsha of Rudra became Hanuman. Brahma became Jambavan. Vishwakarma became Nala. Agni became Nila. This is the understanding. So the understanding was, when Bhagavan chooses to be a Nara, Indramshavali should support Bhagavan, should assist Bhagavan. But what happened on the contrary? See, this Ravana had unique powers, extremely hardworking, very good administrator. Remember, Ravana is not something who is to be demeaned or underestimated. Hanuman wonders looking at Lanka and Sundarakandam. How will Rama be how will he manage to render this Ravana without weapons when he is such a good administrator, very good administrator, Paramashiva Bhakta. But what was that which was very weak in him? The disadvantage in him, the limitation in him. There is one anecdote mentioned in Uttarakandam. Ravana seizes Lanka from his half-brother Kubera. He becomes the leader of Lanka. He introduces new plans. Then he comes all the way to Kishkindha. In Kishkindha, he spots a gym body, whey protein, Vali doing Sandhya Vandanam. So the moment he sees Vali doing Sandhya Vandanam, he says, "You seem like a very powerful man. I wish to have a Dvandva Yuddham with you. Come with me." Vali said, "See, I am doing Arghyam now. I cannot come now. Wait for some time." Ravana said, "Ravana commands. Come." Vali plucked Ravana, placed him between his armpits. His 10 heads were peeping outside. He held him like this, took the Arghya Patram, went to the Western Ocean, gave an Arghyam, came to the Eastern Ocean, gave an Arghyam, went to the Indian Ocean, Kanyakumari, gave an Arghyam, and then released. Ravana was tired. He said, "Ravana, are you ready now?" No, sir. Yen sir idu? Friends sir now. Yen coalition kag bande nanu. ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೀಟ್ಸ್, ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೀಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್, ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ನಾನು ಬಂದೆ. So that is when Vali said, "You wanted to dwell with me." "No, sir. Do you think I will?" "No, you are very strong." "Samayaniki tagu madaladene." I've come not to have a memorandum of understanding with you, to sign an MOU with you. That is when there is a shlokam. This is the 22nd shlokam of Gayatri Ramayanam. It comes in Uttarakandam. Vali says, "What is that memorandum of understanding, Ravana?" Ravana says, "My entire kingdom that is infested with riches and prosperity, all that I own, they also belong to you. Daraha putraha," the wives too. He says, "Daraha putraha." Look at this man's character. So Ravana, he had an understanding with Vali, and Vali too agreed. Who is Vali? Indramsha. Who should Indra have assisted? Rama. Where did he have the pact with? Ravana. Later, when Rama shoots an arrow at him, it is written Rama, it is a customized arrow. He takes that arrow and sees Rama. Then Rama comes and stands in front of him. He says, "You heard Prema Pandurang ji talk about the 7 habits of highly effective people. There is one book by Stephen Covey. The 4th habit is listen first to understand and then be understood." So Rama asked, "Why did you call me Vali?" Vali said, "Just because your wife, your dear wife Sita, has been abducted by a demon, a Rakshasa, will you show your anger and frustration by killing someone who comes on your way? You are frustrated with Ravana abducting your wife. You should have had the valor to go fight Ravana. You found me on the way and you killed me." Vali says, "Yes." "So, Vali, you knew that my wife was kidnapped?" "Yes." "How did you know?" "She went crying for help across my kingdom." "Who are you?" "I am a king." "Shouldn't you have protected my wife, even if it was not your relative? When a woman cries for help, shouldn't you have protected her? You were witness to this heinous act by Ravana because you had an understanding with Ravana. And today you have the audacity to question why I kill you when you have not protected righteousness." So Vali, who's Indramsha, who is supposed to have assisted Rama, didn't assist. Later ended up joining sides with Ravana and did not help Jagannatha Sita. What was the bigger thing? Paropakara vismritirna yujjate managapi apakriyatu takrita tadaiva vismritavara. There's a Prachina Subhashitam. If someone offers you a hand of help, gratitude, you have to be grateful to them throughout their life. When Bhagavan offered Abhaya Pradhanam to Indra. He said, I will be born as Dasharathi Rama and help achieve what you want. But after killing Ravana, when Rama Pattabhishekam happens, everybody attends Rama Pattabhishekam but Indra. Indra sends one beautiful necklace, Swarovski necklace, through FedEx. So that parcel is delivered, Rama accepts that. Then he looks at his chest, there are already too many. Then he gives it to Sita. Sita looks at him with the eye gestures. She asks, can I give it to someone whom I love the most, whose service I love the most? She gives it to Hanuman. This is where Ramayanam stops. Of course, Tulasidas is expanded where he tears open, sees one pearl. All this is not there in Valmiki Ramayanam. He accepts that necklace. So everyone but Indra attended Rama Pattabhishekam. Rightfully, Indra should have led the group, but he was ungrateful, he was deceitful. So to a father who sees the son or daughter committing a mistake, they have to correct. That is a true mother or father. If you see your children doing a mistake, you have to correct. But some people are very defensive. Even if their child fails 20 times, they will keep supporting that son only. So here Bhagavan wanted to correct Indra. How did he correct? As a father, he has to correct. Now came Krishna Avataram, because Jagat Guru means he has to be a guru in his family also. Correct. In Krishna Avataram, there is one place where there was a Utsavam being arranged. Flags were fluttering high. Krishna went and asked his father, Nandagopa, I see such beautiful flags fluttering in the sky. What is this meant for? See, remember, when the flags flutter high, I can think only of Kalidasa's shlokam from Kumara Sambhavam. He says, Chinam Shukaihi. Like the silk of China, the flags were fluttering, says Kalidasa. Chinam. He mentions China. In Udyoga Parva of Mahabharata, go check, you can always fact check. In Udyoga Parva of Mahabharata, when armies land to assist Duryodhana on the Kaurava's side, China's army comes, says Vyasa in Bharatam. When in Balakandam of Valmiki, when Vasishtha fights Kaushika, the erstwhile Vishwamitra, Pallavanam, there's a word, Pallavas were earlier Persians. If you look into Ramayanam and Mahabharatam, you will understand what good understanding Valmiki and Vyasa had of the world geography. Chinam Shukaihi, when the flags were fluttering high, Krishna went and asked, what are these flags meant for? Nandagopa very innocently said, don't you know, Krishna, every year we commemorate Indra's services through doing an Utsava for Indra. Krishna said, what does Indra do, father? He gives us rains. Ananda Amruta Karshini Amruta Varshini Haradi Pujite Shive Bhavani Shri Nandanadi Samrakshini Shri Kuruguha Janani Chidrupini Sananda Hridaya Nilaye Sadaye Satya Suvrishti Hetave Tvam Santatam Chintaye. So he gives us rains. Krishna said, isn't it his duty to give us rains? He is not doing a big service, selfless, volunteering service, meherbani, by giving us rains. We give him ahuti in the yajnas. Indra, Yaswaha, he accepts this salary as ahuti and does his duty. If you do an utsavam for him, you are bribing him, mamul. ऐसा मत कीजिए पिताजी. India should not get into bribes this early. He is doing his duty, Indra's duty as being the leader of the clouds through the scorching rays of the sun is to extract the waters from the water bodies, retain them in the clouds. Remember, white clouds in Dharma is depictive of Indra. When he absorbs the waters from the water bodies, leaving the salt and taking the water droplets and stores them in the clouds as Surya Narayana, then the clouds turn dark. Rain-bearing clouds are depictive of Narayana. We call him Kalamegham, Krishna Megha Janitam Janitapaharam. White clouds, Indra. When they bear rain waters, they become dark clouds depictive of Narayana. In Vamana Avataram, Vamana is regarded as the younger brother to Indra. So Indra, Upendra, white clouds, dark clouds. When those dark clouds, Bhagavatam says, there will be different apertures and then water will come. You know, in those, typically if you go to a shower, you find various apertures through water comes, right? So you have waters coming. So it is his duty. We give Ahuti in the Yajnam, he is doing. So don't do Indrotsavam. Keep in mind, 6.5 minutes back, Bhagavan wanted to correct his son Indra, who was ungrateful and deceitful. Now comes the opportunity. He is correcting. He said, don't do this. Immediately, Nandagopa said, Krishna, you have a point. See, that is the greatness of Nandagopa. Had we been there, we would have said, Krishna, substantiate. That is why it takes so long for us to get moksha. Nandagopa immediately said, TK Krishna, whatever you say we'll do. We won't do Indrotsavam. What should we do? See, typically kings in those days had to do a lot of public events for public involvement. There is a great Utsavam called Chittirai Tiruvizha in Madurai. During that Tiruvizha, you will see the divine marriage between Sundareshwara, Shiva, and Meenakshi, Meenalochani, Kadamba Vanavasini, Parvati. For that, Narayana will come as Alagar, Sundara Raja, from a place called Tirumalirunjolai, Alagar Kovil. And he has to cross the Vaigai. Vaigai is the river. What was the earlier name of Vaigai? Very good. Who said that? Big round of applause. See, youngsters. Kritamala. Kritamala was the name of Vaigai. So today, where is the river? River is there. Water? No. So every year they will bring 4-5 tankers of water, put it into Vaigai, and then Alagar will come. So this is the festival that happens. Remember, this festival did not exist before the times of Tirumalai Nayaka. The marriage between Sundareshwara and Meenakshi used to happen in the month of January. The anecdote of Bhagavan coming as Alagar, Sundara Raja, to give Shapa Vimochanam to Manduka Maharshi happened in Chittirai, which is around April month. So farmers in large numbers used to throng in April for participation and never used to participate in January because it was their harvest season. So Tirumalai Nayaka said, why don't I combine first GST? So he combined this Thai festival with Chittirai festival, made it a 10-day festival, and said, when Bhagavan comes to bless Manduka Maharshi, he also comes to help Meenakshi. So this was the anecdote. So administrator's duty was to involve people. So Nandagopa said, see, through Indrotsavam we have been involving people. Now that you have said no more Indrotsavam, who should we do the Utsavam to? Krishna said, one who selflessly serves you. If at all we have a livelihood because of the selling of dairy products, it comes from the cow, the bovine race. The bovine race gets its fodder from the slopes of Goverdhana Parvatam. Let's do Utsavam to Goverdhana Parvatam. Done, Krishna, emoticon. Done. Then they all took different food that was prepared. It's beautiful when you read Bhagavatam and Yadavabhyudayam. They cooked white rice and placed it in large hills, spread the dhoti of their mama's dhoti on the ground, and then on that they placed rice. Mama's dhoti is a multi-purpose dhoti. உங்காத்துல வடம் அவ்வளோ நன்னா இருக்கு, அவர் வேஷ்டியில போட்டது. So dhoti was placed, different kinds of food was arranged, and Gopas were very innocent. How innocent were they? They would agree that the mountain Govardhanam has blessed them only if the mountain consumes the food. How will the mountain consume the food? So Krishna said, go around the mountain, by then it will consume. He became Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva, he ate everything. All the rice, pulikachal, everything he ate. Then when they all came, they were extremely happy. See, Krishna, mountain is extremely satisfied with us. It has had food. Very good. That night, Indra called the Samvartaka Megham, cloud burst. In Gokulam, Vrindavanam, water started entering their areas despite them not constructing houses in lake areas. Despite that, waters entered. And they all went towards the laptop, cylinder, TV given in the last election. They were all floating. And they all swam towards Nandagopal's house and they said, Krishna, it's very cold, Krishna. Vadita Danta Veena, says Vedanta Deshika. They were shivering in cold, so they started playing Veena through their teeth. Vadita Danta Veena. So they said, Krishna, come and do something. Krishna said, come, and lifted that mountain. And he reversed that mountain. I've told this in multiple lectures of mine. He lifted. Sir, how can he lift? I don't know. He inversed that mountain, reversed it. Then somebody said, sir, how could he reverse? I said, if he has lifted the mountain, he can also reverse the mountain. I said, so he reversed that mountain. Why did he reverse? Only if he reverses the mountain, the cattle will get its fodder to eat. It will get the grass. So he lifted the mountain. 6 days he held the mountain. The rain-bearing clouds showered all the waters that they had. They turned white. They had no more waters. The skies were clear. The Gopas went home. The bovine race went home. Krishna placed that mountain. See, why Jagadgurum? Simple thing. He took an object and placed it in the same place. Basic etiquette we should have, right? Some people will take. Some people's life itself will go in searching. Because you have to keep it in that place. Krishna kept that mountain. Simple things from Bhagavatam, just not Upanishadic teachings. Simple things you can learn. Now what does this imply? First, when Krishna lifted the mountain and held it high above his head, it was like a crown to his head. He protected the cows thereby. Gavam Indraha Govindaha. Goverdhan Giridhara Govinda Gokula Palaka Parama Nanda Goverdhan Giridhara. In the Tarangini, Tirthar says, Govardhana Giridhara, he lifted the mountain, protected the bovine race. The mountain was like a crown. So as people went to their pavilions, back to their pavilions, to their houses, Indra visited. It was him, out of sheer arrogance, wanted to show through the cloud burst who he is, ended up having a very, very tough lesson. He came and pleaded to Krishna. How did Krishna, being the Jagat Guru, being the father of all, correct his son Indra? Previous avatara, everybody attended Rama Pattabhishekam but Indra. In Krishna avataram, for Govinda Pattabhishekam, nobody but Indra attended. He ensured that he taught a lesson to Indra. First point. Now there is an Antargata Vishayam here. Before this Govardhana Parvatam, there is a Sambhavam called Viprapatni Sambhavam. It's very important in Bhagavatam. Krishna goes along with his friends to the forest. The boys as usual say, Krishna, very hungry. He said, is Rameshwaram cafe there? Mayura. All these things. There used to be one Mayura bakery when I used to study here. So is it all there? They said, Krishna, we are very hungry. We have not carried anything from home. That is when Krishna says, go and visit the habitat which is close by. There Brahmanas are doing Angirasam. Angirasa is a yaga. Go visit the Brahmanas who are doing. They will have food. So these friends went, knocked at the doors of the Brahmanas who were doing Angirasam and said, Mama, Krishna has come. We are all his friends. We are all hungry, Mama. Please give us food. Brahmana said, absolutely not. That boy of mere 6 or 7 years is asking us food. Sorry, we have, but we can't give. Go away. These boys came running to Krishna and said, Mama refused. Krishna said, go to their wives. Through their backyard, you go knock at their doors. The wives will come, you ask. These boys said, Mommy, Krishna is asking for... Krishna has asked? Are you sure? The one who is adorned with the peacock feathers, the one whose hair tresses are curly, effervescent, resplendent, the one whose smile is akin to as if the teeth were a replica of the stars that adorn the galaxy. Is he the one who asked? Yes. We just made some gojju avalakki. ಖಂಡಿತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸಂಡಿಗೇನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದರ ಜೊತೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕು ಸರ್? ಮೈಸೂರು ತಿಳಿ ಸಾರು ಬೇಕಾ? ಅದು ತಗೋಬಿಡಿ. So they gave all this to the boys. The boys went and had with Krishna. What is this, sir? This is there in Bhagavatam. There is a bigger implication here. See, 42 minutes back, while discussing about a lady who was selling the jamun fruits, in that I mentioned there are 4 parts to the Vedas: Brahmanam, Aranyakam, Samhita, Upanishad. These are the 4 divisions to the Vedas. The first 3 layers together is called Karma Kandam. The last layer, which is the Upanishad Bhagam, is the last Bhagam of the Veda, so it is called Vedanta. Vedanta or the Upanishad Bhagam, the last layer is called Jnana Kandam. First 3 Karma Kandam, last one Jnana Kandam. There were a group of Brahmanas who were very well versed with the Karma Kandam. But there was a big problem being well versed only in Karma Kandam. So they were called as Purva Mimamsakas. What they would do is they will believe in the Vedas. They will trust in the Vedas. They would master the Vedas. They would follow every Kriya Karma mentioned in the Vedas. But they won't believe in Paramatma. They were called as Purva Mimamsakas, who would follow the Vedas till the T. But if you ask them who gives fruit to all these yajnas, they'll say yajnam itself gives fruit. We don't believe in Paramatma. So there were people who mastered the Vedas, practiced the Vedas, did the Kriyas, but did not believe in Paramatma. They were called Purva Mimamsakas. The Uttara Mimamsakas believed in Jnana Kandam coupled with Karma Kandam. They said we have to learn the Vedas, we have to practice the yajnas, but the one who gives the fruit for all this karma is Paramatma. So the people who refused food to the boys were Purva Mimamsakas. That is why when Paramatma, Sakshat Paramatma as Krishna asked for food, they said we will not give, we will do only the yajnas. Whereas the wives were Uttara Mimamsakas. In the same family, you'll have people voting for 2 parties. One is Purva Mimamsaka, the other one is Uttara Mimamsaka. Husband doesn't believe in Paramatma, wife goes temple after temple. In Tamil Nadu, it is so. Now, in Viprapatni Sambhavam, this is called, remember this is called Viprapatni Sambhavam. In Viprapatni Sambhavam, what did Krishna do as Jagat Guru? He said, more than the Purva Mimamsakas who practice and contemplate on the Vedas but do not believe in Paramatma, I have greater affinity to their wives who are Uttara Mimamsakas who believe in Karma Kandam but as well as believe in Paramatma. So first layer he cleared that you should believe in the Vedas and Paramatma. Viprapatni Sambhavam. Next comes the next layer. See, many of you may have this question, your children or grandchildren would have asked, Party, I have a doubt. This Indra doesn't seem to be a good man. As per the reading from my scriptures, he misbehaved with Ahalya. He has stolen at least 4 horses to the best of my knowledge. When Sagara performed Ashwamedha, he stole. When Ajana Bhavarshe, Rishabhanata performed Yajna, he stole. He stole the sacrificial horse. He will stop someone from doing penance, as in the case of Dhruva. He will abduct the wife of Hiranyakashipu called Kayadhu. He will misbehave with the wife of Gautama Rishi called as Ahalya. He misbehaves, he abducts, he steals. But we say we have to propitiate Indra. How party? Correct? Do you have this question? Have you heard of this question? Have you thought about this question? Have you not thought? Think now. Okay. So Indra does. This question is answered in Brahma Sutra. It is called Indra Pranadhikaranam. There in Indra Pranadhikaranam, they say, in Parabrahma Prakara Bhuteshvasya Anugamat. This is a line from Sri Bhashyam. When Vedam says venerate Indra, it doesn't mean venerate the Indra who has stolen the horse. Venerate on the prana to the Indra, the antaryami to Indra. So through Indra's Garva Shamanam, by lifting the mountain, Bhagavan wanted to say that the one who blesses Indra to precipitate is me. So whenever you offer your obeisances to Indra, think of me as Antaratma and then offer Andariki Shri Hare Antaratma. You have to think of that Antaratma Tattvam. It is not to the body of Indra who has misbehaved with Ahalya. It is to the Antaratma of Indra that you are offering. So through Viprapatni Sambhavam, Krishna as a Jagadguru said, more than the Purva Mimamsakas who believe in the Karma Kandam alone, I am in affinity with the Viprapatnis who are affiliated to the Jnana Kandam, which is the Paramatma Tattvam. Through Govardhanodharanam, by bringing down the arrogance of Indra, he tried to say that you offer your obeisances not to Indra, but to the Antaratma of Indra, thereby Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. See, in Kalia Nartanam, simple thing. Bhagavan dances on Kalia. If you look into Bhagavatam, there's a beauty. Kalia stays only in that lake. Why? Because it was believed that Garuda will come and eat him. He said, I will not move from this lake. Bhagavan said, see, this lake water is useful for these people. You have to go to some other place, South America, somewhere you have to go. Ramaniyaka Dweepam, Yellowstone National Park, somewhere you go. Don't stay here. Then Kalia said, see, this lake is a very protected lake because of Shaubhari Shapam. Garuda will do no harm to me. The moment I exit this lake, I will be killed. Manage. Bhagavan said, don't worry. Why? Because when Bhagavan danced on the hood of Kalia, Bhagavatam states that the gems which were found on Kaliya's head stuck to Krishna's foot. So in a way, Kalia has submitted precious stones to Krishna's feet. Bhagavan doesn't accept anything just like that. He wants to give something in return to his children. So he accepted the gems inadvertently from the hoods of Kalia and he gave Abhaya Pradhanam to Kalia, stating that since I have danced on your hoods, Shankaracharya mudra is found on your hood, Garuda will do no harm. He accepted the gems and gave Abhaya Pradhanam to Kalia, thereby saying a guru will always bestow more knowledge on his Sishya than the amount of dakshina he receives. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Now, a bigger question. I'm sure your children who study here or abroad, there's a big thing called, if you go abroad, there's something called the prom. Right? So parents are very, very varied. So they'll say, why do you want to go and dance? One boy said, when Krishna dances, you say it's Rasak. Why shouldn't I? Then the mother will immediately mail me, sir, my son asked. Don't go to prom. He says, why? When Krishna did Rasa Krida, you celebrate. Whereas if I do, you don't. Why? What is the significance of Rasa Krida? Correct? When Krishna danced with the women of varying ages by the banks of Yamuna, Keshapasha Dhrita Pinchika, Bhagavatam states very clearly that he stood between two women, Anganam Antare Madhavaha, Madhavam Madhavam cha Antare Angana. He stood between two Anganas, one Krishna stood between two women, one woman was stood between two Krishnas. This is how the arrangement was. And they held their hands together and danced. What does this signify? There's a big significance, says Vishnu Purana. See, if you understand this concept, it's called Sharira Shariri Bhavam well, you will be able to gauge the importance of this. Now let's take our body. First of all, when I go to a house, I say bring water. What will they do? It depends on the person, sir. They may or may not bring water. What will you do? If I ask you for water, what will you do? We will give water. How will you bring water? In a glass. But did I say glass? So when I said bring water, the implication was water cannot come on its own, it needs a container. So, as I say water, the container is implied. Similarly, when I say Jivatma, Jivatma cannot exist on its own. It needs a shariram. So the body is an implication thereby. Level 1. Level 2. Now for example, I lift my hand. Who asked me to do so? My mind asked me to do so. My mind is under the control of my Jivatma. So the Jivatma has asked my mind to lift the hand. So the body is under the command of the Jivatma. That is why there is a famous line from the Thiruvilayadal movie. Nanasaindalasayum agilamellame arivai manida un aanavam perida padavai enai aadavandodoru padavai moodavandodoru patum nane bhavamum nane padum unnai naan paada vaitene naan asaindal. The Jivatma Nan says asayum. So my body reacts. So the Jivatma commands the body to act. So now take this Jivatma concept to the universe. Like how this Jivatma commands the body, the entire universe is the body to Paramatma. So if Paramatma says, let the trees move this way and that way, the trees move. So like how our body acts under our instructions, so does the universe act under Paramatma's instructions. Point 1. Point 2. I said that the entire universe is Bhagavan's body. So the Jivatma within the Gopikas 3 is Bhagavan's body, and so are their bodies also the body of Paramatma. So if Bhagavan touches Pankajam Mami and Komalam Mami, he is essentially not touching Pankajam's body and Komalam's body. He is touching his own body. So it is Sharira, Shariri Bhavam. See, if I slap somebody else, that person can go put on the Twitter, Aisa usne maar diya. If I slap myself, nobody will put. So if Bhagavan touches Pankajam Mami, it is akin to touching his own Angam because she is a part of his Shariram. So Rasak Krida is not depictive of a simple dance that we all think on the night of 31st December. Or done before a marriage in Sangeet. It is an implied meaning that the entire universe is Bhagavan's Shariram, so you are integral to him. So Rasa Krida depicts Sharira Shariri Bhavam, which Krishna explains in the Gita. To explain in the Gita, he has to practice before, so he practiced it in Rasa Krida and explained it in Bhagavad Gita. KRISHNAM VANDE JAGADGURUM. So be it from Matrudevo Bhava to Pitrudevo Bhava to removing the shackles of karma to saying that Satyatvam, Jnanatvam, Anantatvam are all my qualities, like how Saushilyam is accessibility, like how I depict it through Yashoda, to bringing down the arrogance of Indra through Goverdhana Sambhavam, to understanding the importance of Uttaramimamsa Jnanakandam along with Karma Kandam through Viprapatni Sambhavam, to blessing the Sishya with more knowledge than what he receives through giving Shankaracharya Lanchanam to the hoods of Kalia by accepting the gems, to understanding the Sharira Shariri Bhavam in Rasa Krida. Krishna just does not become an Acharya just like that at the age of 62 or 89 by giving Bhagavad Gita. He practiced what he preached before and then preached those essence of what he practiced as learnings in Bhagavad Gita. So he practiced first before preaching, thereby proving the line Swayam Acharati. An Acharya should practice and then preach. So Krishna did not become an Acharya by fluke. Every stage of Krishna Avataram signifies and exemplifies what quality of teacher he is, and he preached as a teacher towards the fag end without giving us an opportunity to point fingers at him. So an Acharya like Krishna is the Jagat Guru, says this Krishnashtakam. That is why we say Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramartanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. This Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum simply doesn't mean the one who gave us Gita, but the one who practiced Gita first and preached Gita later. So practicing is very important in Sanatana Dharma. It is just not about sitting and delivering lecture like how I do or listening. We have to practice as much as what we have learned. Only when Anushtanam comes, Jnanam will stay. Without Anushtanam, Jnanam will become volatile. Whatever we have learned, how much ever we can, if we implement it and make it relatable, such knowledge will never become a useless tinsel but will become invaluable. See, the beauty of English is efficient means efficient. Inefficient means not efficient. Valuable means valuable. Invaluable means very valuable. That is the beauty. So the learnings of Bhagavad Gita will become invaluable. They will become valuable when we learn Gita. They will become invaluable when we practice Gita. Gita is not to be just preached. It has to be practiced. Who did this? Krishna. Why? Because he is an Acharya. Acharya of whom? Of Jagat. So he is Jagadacharya, Gitacharya, Jagat Guru. To that Krishna who was relished by various Acharyas, including our very dear Prema Pandurangji, through her lectures, she relished Krishna. She has done lectures on a plethora of topics, there's no doubt. But something that remained very close to her heart was Krishna Bhakti, no doubt. So as a tribute to that great Maharagni was this lecture, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Compared to other lectures of mine which are more generic, narrational in approach, I wanted to induce and introduce Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad through a lecture. Remember, the quoting of Ramayana and Mahabharata as stories and the vengeance and the war is all interesting. But we have to go 2-3 layers below and understand what is relatable to us. That relatability is what will make Sanatana Dharma eternal and perpetual. At one layer, yes, this man killed that man, he used this Sayudam, we storytellers, we know how to make it very interesting. Jal appdinu oru kudi kudichar. Jil 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 appdinu oru odinar. Bhal 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 bhal. All that is good at one level. Second level, we have to go deeper and understand what are our teachings. If we fail to understand Vedanta, which is Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, which are the Vedanta Sutras, and Bhagavad Gita, the essence of Upanishads, which is called Prasthanatrayam. If Prasthanatrayam is not given importance and just the flesh and the blood called the stories are just alone relished, then it is very easy for our foundation to be shaked by all these, Vokeshwara, Vokanayaka. We can easily be rattled because they will ask primary questions. Why was Sita? Do you think that Rama was Maryada Purushottam? He doubted Sita's chastity. Which man will do that? Even we'll start feeling, yes. Ram should have not done that. Sir, I have doubts about Rama. Now somebody will say, Krishna did this. Why did you think he just took the clothes away from the women who were bathing? I think that's a condemnable act. He shouldn't have done that, right? And this will become a prime time debate. 9 o'clock, they will be debating what Krishna did, what Rama did. That is why we need to understand the Vedanta behind our Itihasa and Puranas. That time our foundation will be strong. If we just keep understanding Ramayana and Bharata and stop with that, foundation will be weak. So please give more importance. Give importance to Ramayanam, Bhagavatam, Bharatam, Vishnu Puranam. Nothing like it. And Bhakta Vijayam. But start learning the intricacies of Gita. When Vivek ji and Vishwanath ji, of course, we had the pleasure of hosting them in our humble house. They said we should make it an annual affair of giving lectures. So I said I've given multiple lectures on Ramayanam, Gita, Bhagavatam, Mahabharatam. That is when Vivek ji, he said, we wanted Prema Pandurang ji to explore more on Gita, but somehow Krishna felt he values her so much that she should be next to him. Just took her away from us, but we wanted her to explore on the Gita. So I said we can take up Gita. So I said, let us do a precursor to Gita. Then he said, what is the topic? I said, KRISHNAM VANDE JAGADGURUM. So for every act of Krishna, I wanted to be associated with an Upanishadic statement or a Brahma Sutra statement or a Gita statement. So this is a precursor. Now I have known how the reaction is. Very positive. So, as I have stated, if we have to continue with the Gita, we need a lot of your participation and cooperation. I'm sure a lot of you attend colleges, schools, full-time work, you travel, some people travel for work, some people travel within Bangalore. Traveling outside Bangalore is easier. Some people travel within Bangalore. You know, that's a namedhayana bahunashrutena, how much of efforts. And you all reach home the same day. So, I'm sure with so many impediments, how will we attend to lectures? That is why we thought, where is Vivek ji? So we thought, we will take up Gita in parts. See, it's not easy to cover Gita in a year. It may take 4-5 years. We can do maybe one set or two sets, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 months later, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so that we can cover 2 chapters. At least, it's not enough, but somewhere we have to begin so that we complete it. You know, you cannot just keep on perennially going. I can go for hours together explaining one shloka, but that is not the point. In a set of 5 years, it should be like, you know, an integrated degree. By the end of 5 years, one semester, 3 days. So you have got 10 semesters, 10 into 3, 30. 30 into 2 are 60 hours. 60 hours, 700 shlokas. Divide and see, 700. How many? 10 minutes, 15 minutes we can dedicate to one shloka. Pada-padartham and giving the meaning. Then we have to give the Sangati. That is the traditional way of learning Gita. Now you may ask, sir, we want to know management rules and application of management in Gita. That and all I don't give. Okay, so I have to tell what Krishna says. You derive however you want. You make it applicable to your pharmaceutical company. You make it applicable to your teaching profession. So, you know, I can't give management principles. This is called as human resources. Krishna talks about HR in Shloka 5, 6, 7. That's not the speaker that you're listening to. You're at the wrong place. I will tell you what Krishna tells for Atmojivanam. For Moksham, what does he state? That may be applicable to your management profession. That I agree. That is left to you how you derive. But I won't give this coincides with Stephen Covey's first habit called being proactive. And Krishna doesn't talk about being proactive and all. He talks about Atma, Karma Yogam, Jnana Yogam, how you should do. There, Parabhakti, Parajnana, Paramabhakti. I come from a very traditional school. To just cater to a very modern audience, I cannot keep on repackaging Bhagavad Gita and say Bhagavad Gita for toddlers, Bhagavad Gita for middle school, Bhagavad Gita for dancers, all this and all I cannot do. Bhagavad Gita for Moksha. When we die, where will the Jivatma go? Okay, you have to come with that Dhridi Karanam. Settu போறத பத்தி பேசிட்டார் சார் பயமா இருக்கு அப்படிலாம் அசட மாதிரி ஆத்துல உட்கார்ந்து கூடாது. So this Bhagavad Gita is a Moksha Shastra. Whether people interpret it as management, Maslow's hierarchy, all that is their knowledge. We have to give that freedom. Let them interpret. Let that be applicable to colleges, universities. I have no inhibition. It should go. But as such, Bhagavad Gita is a Moksha Shastra. There is no 3 levels of management, HR, negotiation skills, all this is not there. It is Moksha Shastram. For Atmo Jivanam, what is there? So that will be the line of approach. And if we take up, I don't know, Krishna's grace, Prema Pandurang Ji's grace, 5 years, 2 semesters, 10 semesters, 3 lectures, we can complete Bhagavad Gita. For that we deserve your participation. So I'm sure you would have given your email IDs because we won't do a huge advertisement. Bhagavad Gita should not have an advertisement. It is Bhagavan's voice that comes. I should have the bhagyam to say, you should have the bhagyam to listen. That's all. As simple as that. We cannot keep preaching. Come, tattungal, tirakkapadu, varangal. Then they say dinner is served. Why? For Bhagavad Gita, dinner may be extra. You should come. Gita is the prasadam there. Nothing else is the prasadam. It is the voice of Bhagavan. What else do we need? So Bhagavad Gita is a prasadam. Let's see how we pick it up from there. Thank you so much for being a patient listener for 2 hours, 15 minutes. Before that, 36 minutes. So 15 minutes, more than Bahubali 2. You are on the stage, in this auditorium. What a house full of astikas that we have had. All credits go to the fame of Prema Pandurangji. With this I conclude. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. I will be singing Krishnashtakam as the Harati. If you want, you can join.
Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to kindly be patient, finish the Arati, take the prasadam and then go. Please ensure this door will be closed there. People leaving from the back can take the 2 doors in the center and the left. People leaving from the front is the exit on your left. Please be patient. Don't crowd. Everyone will get. Please wait for the Arati song to finish and then you can slowly file out.
Adiyan's book that I've authored, Ramayanam Volume 1 English, is available outside. Those of you who wish to buy can buy. Vasudeva sutam devam kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Atasi Pushpa Sankasham Haranu Purashobhitam Ratna Kankana Keyuram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Kutilalaka Samyuktam Purna Chandra Nibhananam Vilasat Kundaladharam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Mandara Gandha Sanyuktam Charuhasam Chaturbhujam Barhi Pinchavachuɗangam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Utphulla Padma Patraksham Neelajimuta Sannibham Yadavanam Shiroratnam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Rukmini Keli Samyuktam Pitambara Sushobhitam Avapta Tulasi Gandham Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Gopikanam Kuchadvandva Kunkumankita Vakshasam Sriniketam Maheshwasam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Srivatsankam Mahoraskam Vanamala Virajitam Shankachakradharam Devam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnashtakam Idam Punyam Pratar Utthaya Yaf Pathet Koti Janma Kritam Papam Smaranena Vinashyati Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kayena Vacha Manasendriyaiva Buddhyatmanava Prakriti Swabhavat Karomi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai Shriman Narayanayeti Samarpayami Janaki Kanta Smaranam. Energy. Janaki Kanta Smaranam Gopika Jeevana Smaranam. Namaskaram.